The gentleman began working as a judge in the 1980s with both the WBO and the WBU. Later, he joined the International Boxing Organization, which is located right here in Florida, where he currently serves to this day as the organization's president. His goal has always been to promote honesty, transparency, and do business in boxing the right way. Integrity is always the key to maintaining credibility. He's been doing that all his life and continues to do that to this day. We proudly present the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame Achievement Award to Mr. Ed Levine.
I didn't know Jimmy Resnick was going to be here tonight. I usually start by telling the story. People always ask me, how did you become a boxing judge? And it is very, very funny when people say, you know, what is your background? How did this happen? And I tell them, well, a friend of mine called me one day and said, Eddie, can you join the commission? We'd like you to be a boxing judge. And I said, what do I know about boxing judging? I'm a fan. That's all I know about. And as Jimmy said, that's exactly the way it happened. One day a friend calls, you say, I'll do it, and Jimmy, it's all your fault. What happens with boxing, and every man in this room will tell you, boxing is more than a business, more than a sport. It's just a fantastic affliction. It's like a disease. Once you get it, you can't get rid of it. During the years that I was practicing law, sometimes I'd get a call from an important client. And at the same time, I'd be getting a call from a boxing trainer or promoter. And I would always tell my secretary, put the trainer through, tell the client I'll call him back tomorrow. Somehow, you meet the most memorable people in the sport. You meet the most, all these stories about how boxing is terrible and the things that go on in the sport. But it's not true. Some of the nicest people I've met in my life are the people I meet in boxing. And it's from the lowest job to the biggest promoter. Just very interesting people, very good people, and very delightful people, memorable people. Just a few follow-up stories that I just thought about when Jimmy was telling his stories. I was judging the night of the Davila fight on Miami Beach, and you never asked me who was ahead on the cards, but Davila was ahead on the cards. And another boxing story, people say, how did you get to be an international judge? After 2 years working for the Miami Beach Boxing Commission as a local judge, which was a fantastic experience, I decided I would like to try this on the international level, so I decided to go to a WBA convention in Margarita, the island of Margarita, off the coast of off the coast of Venezuela, and we missed our flight from Caracas to Margarita Island, and a promoter missed his flight at the same time. His name was Bob Arum. So Bob was very powerful, very dynamic, as you know, always gets his way. And he was telling the people at the airline, the plane has to come back and get him and take him to Margarita Island. And I was telling Mr. Arum, that doesn't happen here. The plane's gone, you'll have to wait till the morning. And we spent an evening, my wife and his wife, and we spent the evening in Caracas. And the next day, when we went to Margarita Island, we were picked up by this beautiful limousine. And Bob Arum said, come on into this limousine with me, you're coming with me. And my wife and I hop into the limousine. I had never met Bob Arum before. And we get to the WBA convention, get out of the car, and everybody is welcoming Mr. Arum, and he introduces me as the best boxing judge in the world. Now, I had been working in the Miami Beach Boxing Commission for 2 years. And wherever he went that weekend, he would have me sit next to him and my wife, and he would always say, this is the best boxing judge in the world. We get back home on Monday, and I get a call on Tuesday. Would you like to judge the Mancini-Bramble fight? And the same reaction that Jimmy had. There I am, sitting in Reno, Nevada, judging Mancini, Bramble. I said, what the hell am I doing here? But that's the way things happen in boxing. There are opportunities come up, you take those opportunities, you go with it, and believe me, even though this is an affliction and a disease that all the men in this room have, and some of the wives too, it's just a wonderful affliction that you really don't want to get rid of, and it's something that is enjoyable for your whole life, so enjoy it. A shout out to Butch, thank you very much. It's really my pleasure to be here. Thank you, Butch. And one last thanks to my partner, John Dodano. I've had a lot of partners in my life, law partners and partners in business. I've never had a better partner than John. He's there for me when I need him, he supports me, and we have a tremendous dialogue and a friendship. Thank you, John.